Good. It's episode 211. Why you should breed reptiles for fun. But first, sponsor shoutouts. Vet DNA. You already know what to do. VetDNA.com. Test your snakes. Lizards, turtles. Turtles are disgusting animals. They're always sneezing on each other. They have more respiratory diseases than anybody else. And you can test them with VetDNA.com. Sponsors. Shane Kelley says he likes grass-fed beef and it tastes better than the normal store-bought stuff. So good for him. That was his update. He really wanted to share with the world. Yeah, he's on Reptiles Unplugged, smalltowneXotics.com. He'll be at the Nashville ARPE coming up very soon. Bravo Zulu, today's her birthday. Yay, happy birthday. We're all senescing and we'll all be dead soon. Yay. But she'll also be going to Tinley Park. And she'll be at the Conley Herb Stable if you want to come by and say hello. Justin, I don't know. Stoneage ball pythons, he's in the Pacific Northwest. I know he's not dead officially, legally, but besides that, I'm not sure. Andrew Powerhouse pythons, he will be at the Hillsborough show on 25th and 26th, last show of the year, and just the last 3 clutches are in the incubator. So check him out if you're in the area, or check him out on Morph Market. Gray Family Snakes, they will also be at the Nashville ARPE on the 24th and 26th. And this is a little tidbit. Anyone who buys a snake from them gets a free single gene test from RGI until they run out. So check it out if you're interested. GrayFamilyToSnakes.com to see the inventory before you go. And Chris at BNS, he'll be at Tinley this weekend. Bull snakes, Blanchicata, different pine snakes, Argentines, MBKs. Very cool. And then Gettysburg Expo after that on November 8th. That's it. That's all of them. We did it. And Wilson's here. What's up?
Evening.
Chat's kind of popping. That's good. We got him excited with this topic. I was just wanting to be filled with joy today. Are you filled with joy today?
Definitely. It's a joyous day.
Yes. I just think about this kind of like general topic a lot. Like what am I doing? Why am I doing it? And then I'm like, oh, there's lots of good reasons to propagate reptiles and amphibians and invertebrates in captivity. And we're going to talk about them. But before we do, I just want to say, like, nobody has to breed reptiles. If you love your pets and you don't want to breed, great. You're not less of a keeper because you don't want to breed. Or you could breed some of your species, but not all of them, because you might just want it. You just like that one, you just want them as a pet. Great. That doesn't make you bad. You shouldn't feel guilty. You're not as important as someone who does breed. These are just reasons that I think breeding can be good and fulfilling if you want to, you know? Because a lot of people are like, well, breeders aren't people that matter. And I'm like, holy fuck. That's a big statement. There's lots of people who should never breed because it takes time, money, attention. There's a lot of negative parts to it, but it can be rewarding if you want to. That's all.
Exactly.
All right.
Very well put.
Thank you. I just like respect keepers. Like if you just want to be a keeper, great. Because I'm like got the form of tism that makes me want to breed things. So like if I didn't have that, it'd be much more fun. I'd have like 7 pets. Whoa, wouldn't that be a different world?
I think it's also because maybe we were in a time frame where it wasn't yet really mainstream. So it would seem like it was more hard to do. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's the way sometimes I think maybe that's why I think the way that I think. I don't know.
Do you think a lot of the marketing to people in like the whatever early aughts or whatever was like that? Like, of course what you do is breed. Why wouldn't you?
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely. But I guess what I'm thinking is like, you know, I've been in it since I was real little. So it's like I kept for so long. And then once I had a rough green snake that laid eggs in captivity that I caught. And once that happened, that was like that trigger. And then like all the books were like, oh, this is what, you know, it's starting to happen and people are starting to do it. So it was like, oh, I want to do this. You know,
want to be part of it. All right. Yeah. My number 2 was the magic of creation. So like the it's almost like it literally is like I don't try not to be too weird, but it is quasi spiritual to see new baby living things.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You're like, oh my God.
It's awesome. Yeah.
It's very awesome. And it has a lot of burdens and tragedies and dead
And
ones.
you have to be prepared for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But like the fact that that is a capacity that you can have as a person in this hobby is very special.
And it's alluring too. It's very alluring as well. I think people,
you're like, wow, I did it. And I didn't even have sex with anybody, and I did it.
Right. And the fact that it's sometimes a long-term project, like a fulfillment of a long-term goal.
Right. That's my number 3. Sense of fulfillment, acquiring the members of the species, breeding them, and continue to breed them to achieve a goal of some kind. Like that's maybe like how you stay in it for decades. You're like, I'm going to keep doing it. Whatever that is.
Especially if you're line breeding for some type of trade or
right. So what if like one day we get solid brick red Bredli or something, like they give them solidly or whatever you can think of in your whole heart. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's crazy. Like I just had to buy one of Nick Mutton's ivory jungles just because it's crazy how they're white after 30 years of him doing it. He turned them white. It's like, yeah, that thing blows my mind.
Right. And the only way you sort of get on that path is taking the first step, like the first pairing to see what you can do.
Exactly.
But like it still stays fulfilling as you like hit different benchmarks. And that keeps your sort of personal interest engaged. And that's pretty cool if you think about it, that you would only really achieve that with breeding if you wanted to breed.
Definitely. It also shows you like you're forced to deal with those negative things that come with it. So it gives you a different perspective about life and death and, then the pet people. That's where I feel like the disconnect is between the pet people and the breeders is they don't understand that most of these snakes are not supposed to make it. Right. So it's like, to full adulthood, right? Like if you take into everything.
Right. In many ways, they're like shielded.
Right.
Because they receive a perfect, often, sometimes you can have like pet only specials or whatever, but there's a lot of basically nearly perfect snakes delivered to a reptile show at extremely reasonable prices that are whatever, ready to go. They're all eating frozen thawed. All these things are perfect about them, but it took a lot to make them. And they're not even worth as much as it technically should be to compensate for the time, but the person just wants to get that species out there. It is hard, especially like if you raise a female up for a long time and then she becomes egg bound or slugs out and retains slugs and becomes septic and dies. And you're just like, oh.
Yeah, no, it's definitely something to consider, especially if they are your pets.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Right? If you look at them like pets, then definitely.
I also have a deeper intimacy with the species because you have to be at least a little. So a lot of snakes will breed wherever, whenever, but some of them need more. And maybe you have to check the natural history of the species to corroborate what you're doing to where they're from, and you get even more into them.
Yeah, it's like the learning process. Like you may mess up the eggs the first time you get them, but you learn something and you keep it going. Right.
You want a temp cycle, maybe like it is where they're from, which gets you to buy a book about where they're from, and then you get on iNaturalist. But most snakes are pretty, and other species are like pretty, like once you get your care sheet, that's pretty good. But it might take a next level of research to actually propagate them.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
I think the most important and the most impressive thing about it is the time and the dedication that you put toward it and like just accomplishing your goal. I think that's a big thing that you get out of it.
Mm-hmm. Because a lot of pet people can keep their pet for 20 years, and they know a lot about that one animal. And I've made this argument before, but if you have a lot of the same species, you know all the permutations of like their behavior or needs a little bit better. And breeding them by default makes you experience more of them and more behaviors and more challenges. And so like it kind of is like not the capstone to like the care of the species is to have successfully reproduced it.
No, but it could be the capstone to your experience with it. How about that?
Right.
So,
right. Not that you can't have a fun time as a pet, but sometimes I'm like,
yeah. Because I think that people don't realize there's a lot of things to consider. Because I think I heard somebody say that that corn snakes are overbred, and I'm like, I wouldn't say that corn snakes are overbred. I would just say that they were overbred. They were bred too many breedings happened that weren't thought out properly. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, throw these two snakes together, and then I think that happens too much. But
right, like there's a whole process I think people have to grow into becoming a more nuanced breeder, and some people maybe never get there.
No.
You know, but like
it's like just like with the ball pythons. Like if I were to try to hit the lottery and hit some crazy ball python, the byproduct, in my opinion, should be food. Like the ones that couldn't be, because it just messes up the whole market, right? Mm-hmm. And there's when you breed something, you breed, like I've bred leopard geckos and crested geckos, and well, yeah, those things are food for something else. I just don't think that our hobby probably needs to progress a little bit in that aspect, because like everything else that we breed, we categorize it. You know, it's either for consumption, for other use, for pets, and those animals can be the same animals, right? We just break it down like goats or, you know.
Yeah, I mean, oh God, this is a hard topic. Everybody downvote. Go ahead and downvote now. But like, I think that's something that hobbies where like the main product is pets, not a commodity like meat, leather, or dairy. People act different about all of the animals produced than they probably should if they really thought about it empirically.
Right.
Unfortunately, I don't know how to be nice about that. But like, if they are food for somebody else, that is not a bad fate necessarily.
Right. And it would save the market, right? It would balance things. Right.
And many snakes that you're like, this is a low end snake, whatever. Like a lot of times they just need to be in a different place to sell than where they're currently being sold. Because there's some people like never have seen a normal male ball python ever in their whole life. But I think people are trying to push a lot of animals in places where those people don't necessarily want that. And so they just need to be somewhere else, or, you know, it's just hard. That part's hard because you don't necessarily, if you love them, you don't necessarily want them to be food, but then.
No, well, then you plan your breedings better and don't try and hit a lottery, right?
That's
you don't breed triple heads to, you know what I mean?
Right. And then you don't.
And if you do, then you deal with the consequences.
Corn snake under the sun to every other snake without any regard for where they're gonna go,
where they're gonna look like, and who's gonna want them.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. The other thing I have is paying the species forward to future generations of keepers. If everyone decided to be a pet keeper, that would be cool for a little bit. And then what would you do after that? You know, we would have to go back to getting wild caught animals again and just restart the whole process. I think, I don't know where we are with it, but you could argue that some lines of corn snakes have been in captivity for so long, generationally, that they are quasi domesticated. How do you feel about that statement?
Definitely. I mean, I'm not even going just corn snakes. I mean, leopard geckos, crested geckos at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I would consider pretty much domesticated. I mean,
Right.
shoot, the Darwins that I produced, I mean, them things are like puppies straight out the egg. And that was a species that not too long ago, I mean, they were like terrible.
Right. And we probably could do more with that. Like you could more successfully selectively breed more species for particular properties, like eating frozen thawed from the beginning, being nice, like because like that's all traits that you could select for. I think people that's the problem with like the morph game in general, is people start to ignore other properties of the animal and only focus on if it hit a particular genetic whatever. But there could be a future where the people who do want a captive breed want to select for temperament if they felt
I think that eventually the whole morph thing will just come down to just people liking variety, right? Because like that's where I'm at with it now. It doesn't really mean a damn thing. It's just something different, right? Just an extra different. So I'm not really into like trying to make something new. I just, it's just something. I like variety in my clutch, right? So like I like the leopard boas because of that. Right? The hets look all kind of different. The leopard looks different. So, but it's just because of the diversity, the variety.
Yeah,
nothing's better than, or
Right. I think a lot of people are stuck on morphs in a lot of ways, like because
I think it's because of it's still a young hobby for so many people that I think that they get there if they stick it out, right? I think that's just like a growth thing.
Right. I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too. You said be optimistic now.
Yeah, I know. I'm always like, everybody's always chasing. And I'm like, whoa, slow down, brother. Like, you don't, like, they'll chase everything. They'll chase a new species. They'll chase a new morph. I'm like, we could just all chill a little bit and just drill down on what we're doing and see if we can do it better. Can we execute, like, placing an animal in somebody's home in a better way? I don't know the right. So we've like talked about it for years now. Like, is a show the best way to pair up the right gecko with the right gecko home? Is that the best way?
I mean,
it is a way.
It's a way. It's a way. I mean, you have to I guess you have to spark the interest if you're going to get down to the base of it. And then sparking the interest nowadays is hard, right?
Right. I have a theory. It's not a great theory, but you can chime in if you want. In markets where there's like maybe an oversupply, that's what makes the hobby grow, like where it feels like it's sort of weak, because an oversupply means people will fight to find someone new to buy that thing, whatever the species is. They're like, damn, dude, I have so many crested geckos. Well, I'm going to go vend a tattoo show. Let's try to sell. Like, that makes new people, like that oversupply, that tension makes more people find people to see if they can sell them a crested gecko. So is it good sometimes that there's these like pulses of maybe too many animals in the captive population? Good is the wrong word.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. I wouldn't partake in that just because I want somebody to already want, because it's a responsibility and it's like a long-term responsibility. So I really wouldn't want to do that. And that's probably why I suck at selling snakes. But I guess if you're looking at it from a pure business aspect, then I guess, yes, you would say yes, because you're getting your product out there to more
kinds of
faces, more kinds of people.
Yeah, like before, like let's go back in time. Long time ago, shows were mostly wild caught stuff, and then whatever animals were currently being captive bred, boas, berms, retics for some reason, a real quality bunch. But a lot of wild caught slop. It was going to die.
Yeah.
So net, we're in a better place, I think, in terms of like a person comes into a show and impulse buys something, they will be impulse buying baby ball python or a crested gecko instead of a Euromastix that's this close
Or
to
Nile
dying.
monitor.
Yes. I feel like on average we're doing better. What do you think about that theory?
I agree.
So even though shows are less diverse and fun, all of the animals there are better cared for and better able
Let's say
to
most.
be impulse.
Yeah,
most. Okay, most.
Yeah, most. And then I do think that we do need to do a little bit better policing on certain species, though. Still, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
yes.
spur thigh tortoises. I mean, we could do a lot better.
Every sulcata ever.
Yeah. So yeah.
Someone
there's definitely
relatively new to the hobby asked me what some good investment species to buy. I just told them to buy what they like. Otherwise, their care would always be subpar. Yeah. If you don't like it, you're not going to want to take care of it for 10 years or however long they live, or however long you live. Because a lot of these animals do live an awful long time. Let's be clear. And we produce them in a way that does not necessarily match their lifespan, unfortunately.
Yeah, I do feel like maybe the breeders have like maybe glorified it a little bit too much, because I met this young gentleman at one of the snake shows, and he was talking to me, and he was upset. He bought this snake from some guy, and the guy was like, "Well, you don't want to breed that one," and he's like, "Well, I'm a budget breeder, and I'm just like," and I didn't want to break his bubble, but it's like you still have to think about what you're producing. Just because you want to do something doesn't mean you should, right? And doesn't mean you're going to be able to get rid of them in a way that you're going to want to, right? And, so, and he was really upset. And I'm just like, well, I mean, yeah, it's your right to do what you want, but, he does kind of have a point. Like, just save up your money a little bit and get something or switch species, right?
Yeah, that's hard to communicate, though.
Because if somebody can afford a $50 snake, they can afford a $250 snake. They just have to just take some damn time, right? It's like what is that like? But I guess that's part of the society today. Everything is rush. So it just spills over into everything else, I guess.
Yeah, I think that part. I don't know. I'm not trying to make fun of Gen Z too hard, but like the very fast dopamine-based thrills, I think is a problem. Like they can't even read a book from cover to cover.
And reptile keeping, this ain't that.
Right. It's very slow and very like
that, man.
Like I'm gonna work on something for like I bred boas and held them back in 2020 and have not bred them yet.
Okay, that's about.
And I knew I was going to be waiting this long.
Right. And yeah.
A lot of people got in and got back out since these boas were born.
Exactly. And that's maybe another reason to breed, because even though we say, oh, it's so many of this or so many of that, I mean, things can happen and it cannot be just as quick. Right.
Well, I have one. It's a sort of the invisible arc illusion. Even if they never repopulate the wild, to have them there has to be some continuity somewhere through someone. Somebody has to be like, I want to keep going with roughies or whatever for a little bit. Otherwise, they all disappear instantaneously. Because like when they send them out to the pet world, they're usually like
right. And you never know. There are some situations where they have reintroduced things, so it's not like it's impossible. It's just probably not probable for a keeper.
Right. Like if we wanted it to be more of an arc, we would do a little better in terms of maintaining heterozygosity, lineage tracking, stuff like that, and making sure things are actually being bred to things that are from the same country. Did you just see that one about the nothing's pure and hybridize everything and that's the future of? Oh man, no, who said that?
I think it's I don't know.
You don't have to say.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was Snakes at Home. I don't know who it was. I just saw.
Oh, Animals at Home did that?
Animal. Yeah, it was like a clip, and the guy is speaking in a different accent. I didn't even like listen to it, but I just listened to the clip, and I was just like, "Oh Lord, get that out of here."
Like in some ways, he's right because a lot of the horses are out of the barn. And if you close the barn door now,
if you want to take the word pure and like totally mean exact, like if you want to, but that's not what we mean by pure. So, right, you're not going to tell me that a condor from Biak is not.
So
is
Dylan Liam was on Dylan's podcast, I guess.
Okay. See, I don't know everybody. I just try to keep.
Yeah, myself. I don't know. I go back and forth because like you don't want them so inbred that they all have cancer and die anyway. But I don't know if you should make true hybrids of everything for fun always. There should be some people at least keeping to like.
Because if everybody's doing it, then you don't have anything anymore.
Right. What do you have? You got a bunch of boop snoots that you can't do anything with. Aurora watched it today. It was interesting. I think it's fine, but like, I mean, they brought it up, so you can talk about it. Hybrids don't always have hybrid vigor. Right.
Not always.
Sometimes it's the opposite because, like, even if they can make a viable baby, aren't always that good.
Or even if they're like even if they look vigorous, more like robust, they're bigger, whatever like that, they may not be reproductively vigorous at all. So, because you see that too.
Right. Liam's point was that species is bullshit and we can make weird, cool breeds. Like so I don't know if everybody's some of you have been to college, but like there's a different species concepts that if he's alluding to that, like you can argue that if they make a reproducing offspring, that's like a reproductive species concept. The species status doesn't matter, but
you can argue pretty much anything, really.
Right. So. Like technically, both like the chondro species are further apart than us and chimpanzees. But would a human chimpanzee hybrid be a good decision? Should we start making those? No, we shouldn't. So like, but people really like making chondro hybrids because they look weird. But I'm pretty sure a human chimpanzee hybrid would also look weird. So you can argue lots of ways, but none of them are that palatable to me.
Yeah.
Leanne's point was that we all have hybrids, whether we know it or not. I don't know if that's empirically true.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Because some people have gone into the bushes, caught their snakes, and come back inside and been like, these are my snakes from this road. So, like, are those hybrids?
And didn't Booth even find out that the corn snakes were actually, the scaleless ones were actually pure corn snakes?
Yeah, basically.
I mean, and if it happens one time 20 generations ago, and then it's all like, does that not necessarily still? I mean, if it's like a 0.2, I mean, I don't know if that matters.
Right. I just don't know if this is like the future of the hobby. You know, yeah. I feel like that's what Liam is arguing for. It's like, fuck it, we'll just make fun stuff instead of having more.
And then to say that it becomes quicker domesticated and like is calmer and everything like that. It's like, I mean, maybe if you picked certain species and you did that, maybe it would work that way. I don't know. But I don't know. I didn't listen to the whole thing, so I can't really talk on it. But I just feel like there's a place for pretty much everything. You label it correctly, you do what you want to do. And everybody needs to maybe stop feeling like what they're doing is superior to what other people are doing. And then maybe we wouldn't have these issues, right?
Is this like a problem of like everyone wanting to prognosticate all the time? You're like, the future of blank is blank.
I feel like that may be a little bit of it. You know what I mean? It's like, just do what you want to do.
Yeah, I think some of the like Imperial Pueblan crosses are cool as shit. They look great. I don't feel strongly compelled to have one though.
Right.
You know?
It's the same thing when you were talking about with the chondros. I don't like. I had them before. I had the mutts. I had the hybrids the first go around, and I just don't feel compelled to do that anymore. It's just not,
Right.
And I hit the lottery with a smoker. You know what I mean? And sold it for a lot, but it still was not what I want to do now.
Right, and I think that's okay. And I guess everything's okay.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I just think that everybody needs to embrace the fact that we're doing something different and odd, and whatever the other person is doing, is cool too. Just stay in your lane and do your thing.
Right. Do you think like the financial aspect is what makes people like the future is X? So invest now with me. Of course. I already have it. And I'm always like, okay, brother, I'm good. I'll go over here.
But if somebody likes it, grab it.
Yeah, go for it. I like that because we're in like an attention economy as far as breeders go. Because like you do have snakes, you made a lot. You have to convince people to buy them. Either they buy it as a pet or they buy it as they want to breed it. But to make them want to breed it, you have to be like, there's a reason why. Like there's a future market for these animals' future babies. And I'm going to make a bunch of people want to do that. And sometimes I think that backfires because it's just like too many people want to do that. And like they're not actually doing something they want to do internally. And they're not that happy. And then they like flood the market and sell all the adults and then switch anyway. So like I find it very hard to tell anybody that what like very specifically what they should do. Because I'm like, fuck, what do I know?
Right.
I don't know nothing.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, though, you can have an opinion about a species, right? And I'm sure you do.
I have lots of opinions.
Right, that would be a proper way to go. Like if someone wanted to breed your the Russian rat snakes that you got, like there would be a way to go and do that,
Yeah, but I don't think my first piece of advice would be like breed them to corn snakes.
Oh no, hell no. No. It would be
just like we need more of just regular ones in the country. So like make more. That's my advice. Just make more and sell them to people. Because there are just not that many of them. It seems like a waste of a Russian to make Russian corn snake hybrids or something weird.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But am I being too mean to people who want to make hybrids by saying that?
No, I think it's just like a certain place for hybrids, right? Like if you're hybridizing a corn snake and a king snake or whatever like that, I think that there's no real worry about losing either founding population, right?
That's right. Probably.
So there's no real, but certain things you just wouldn't want to do that with. Because those people in that group wouldn't buy it, like literally, right? It's like, so yeah, it just depends on what you're into, I think.
Mm-hmm. A beauty rat snake and a corn snake. I've seen that too, but only one egg came to term, and I don't think that animal survived. So was that like a really cool pairing? It happened in Asia. I'm just like those animals are like 30 million years apart, like a long time. So like it might be too far. How do you feel about super dwarf to mainland retic hybrids? Don't get yourself in trouble.
I wouldn't do it. Let's put it that way. I wouldn't do it. I mean, the dwarfs are so, I feel like, valuable as a super dwarf by it with nothing else in it. To just try and get it into a morph is like, for what? They're gorgeous as it is. I mean, they're silver, yellow, and black. I mean, like, and white. Like, and they have that. Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I mean, but again, if you're trying to make it into a pet thing, I guess doing it a few times, but I just don't see that the size thing actually being real, right? It all depends on how you feed it. So, because you could take a super dwarf and make it 12 foot long if you feed it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So
that is still smaller than a mainland. So like
right, but it's still way bigger than it's supposed to be.
Yes.
right? So it depends on if you're going to get this super dwarf mainland hybrid and you're going to aspire to feed it pigs, well, you're going to have a big ass fucking snake. So, I don't know if it really, because like it tells people, oh, this is going to be small, when it kind of depends on what you do.
Also, like, sometimes I'm like, isn't the way that they look good enough for people?
Oh, that's what I just said. Like the original, like the super dwarf, it looks so cool as is. Like, what is the purpose of that? And I mean, that value, like that snake could be a pretty valuable snake for a long time, right? They don't have as big as clutches. They don't. But if you're looking at it as I got to feed my kids, then yeah, I mean, cross it to the, and I'm not going to sit up here and tell you you're wrong. It's just certain people are not going to want it, right?
Mm-hmm. That's true about everything.
Certain people don't, just ain't going to value it.
Yes, we are stepping on landmines. Feel free to leave a comment after the show about all of your feelings, and I will heart it, but I won't read it, so... Sometimes I read all of the comments, but I don't necessarily respond because, like, I don't want to argue ever, really. So here we are. Do you believe in the invisible arc?
Yeah, I love the book. I mean, yeah, I kind of do. I mean, do you?
I just think we want that to be true, but I don't think we execute it in a way where...
Oh yeah, no, you didn't ask me that. I think it could be, obviously it could be much better, but I think that it's there. It may have some holes in it, but
yeah,
we may not float. But
like if I was an AZA zoo, I'm pretty sure people repatriated turtles to the wild and some frogs from captive keeper collections, but I've never heard of them doing for snakes.
I think those Bolson tortoises were done from.
So it is possible, and we have to be better about some of our stuff.
And what about the indigos? They weren't. That was.
I don't know if those ever came back from captive, like private keepers. Like zoos do it all the time because they like keep track of stuff. They got stud books. They're worried about heterozygosity. They force sharing of stuff. We don't do that. We suck. Yeah. We're like we're siblings. 10 years.
They also freeze eggs when they don't. It's like
and they feed stuff to their lions. So they don't get inbred. I don't know if we do the things that would make us the best version of an invisible arc.
I think that I guess we're definitely not the best version, but I think that it is that, and I think that it can get better. How about that?
What if you? Good. Sorry, I was going to go on, but finish your thought.
No, that's it. Go ahead. You're good.
All right. What if you found a wild caught freak and you weren't sure what the species was? You mean like, and it looked like a hybrid, or it looked like a morph?
You should be able to. Oh yeah. I guess that matters because you should be able to figure it out by where you're at, right? Somewhat.
Yeah, I guess she's talking about a hybrid. Things do hybridize in the wild that we know of. So that it's not like it's like biologically impossible and not a source of maybe new species. Because there's a species of salamander that I don't know if this is the wrong place to explain this, parasitizes the jizz of other salamanders to clone itself. Like it'll come, like they're all female. They'll come up, they'll grab the sperm packet from either I want to say it's a blue speckled salamander or one of the other mole salamanders. It is a hybrid of both. They're all female. They need the sperm packet to induce their own egg development, but they don't use any of the genetics from either host species. So their own hybrid parthenogenic but sort of parasitized salamander species. It's very weird and cool. But like, is that what we're doing when we make a jungle corn? Right. No, not really. Where are we at? Super dwarfs aren't pretty as mainlands, if you're being honest. Shots fired.
I mean, don't they have a unique look to them in their own right? I mean, I don't know. I like all snakes. I don't know. So
I think
mainlands, and I think that if you stick mainlands to mainlands and refine that, they would look better. And the same thing with the super dwarves. Brighter, different,
yeah, I think a really nice mainland is very cool.
Yeah, it is a prettier snake if you were to just like do the grandma test. Yeah, definitely.
But the little ones are cool too. So yeah. I don't know. We're being very Switzerland about that. The idea that non-hybrid is inherently more or less friendly is a false narrative to begin with. Each insular dwarf island has its unique environmental behaviors. Right. I just think it's weird to be like, we should make hybrids so they are friendly. Like even within a species that's pure, I feel like there's personality types already. Like some of them come out of the egg feral. You're like, whoa, buddy. Like I'm not. They're like this big. They're trying to kill you. And some of them come out of the egg and they're like, la, la, la. So if I really wanted, I would get the ones that just aren't. They have no adrenaline in their body whatsoever. They're already chill. And if I was doing that on that trajectory, San Diego Zoo freeze all their Fiji iguanas due to regulations on them. Apparently, don't even try to breed them, but they just have high fecundity. All the eggs, not the mature animals.
Right.
Yeah, I just don't know if we have the temperance and the self-control to be a really good invisible arc, like collectively all breeders. We're very like fickle and that one's pretty. It's barely eats, but it's so pretty. I'll keep it going.
Or just because it's mine and I made it, it's better than yours. And it's like, dude, just that thing. I hate to be like that, but it would just solve so many problems, right?
Right. But people love their little booper snoots.
Monitor lizards shouldn't be eating rats like that. We could feed them snakes. You could feed your birds of prey snakes instead of constantly feeding them rodents. It would be so many,
If you saw a weird looking white lip, how would you know what it was? I think from a species level. Scale counts?
Yeah, scale count. I mean, unless it like totally, because the only thing that could really change, like realistically, would be just the colors, right? And it's a solid colored snake, pretty much. So,
I bet there's like the last like book review book we did that had those like extra white lip species in it.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, maybe.
Yeah,
but honestly, it's a big, complicated island with lots of mountains. So, like, could there be extra cryptic
just because
species?
they were there for so long? Possibly.
Yeah, maybe.
But they didn't have to change their look because it worked. Because it's pretty much the same environment. It's just a barrier. Yeah. Possible.
Yeah. Selective breeding for temperate and ball pythons made them lose their drive to eat. See, I disagree. I think ball pythons are overfed in captivity.
Yeah.
In general. And so when they're like, oh, I hit the wall and they don't want to eat, it's not because of any selective breeding. I think we don't select breed ball pythons at all. We like, is it a new smorf it? Let's smorf harder. Put that in everything. Right. Doesn't matter if it barely eats, it breeds one time and I got babies out of it, run it. Sell it.
It has one eye and it looks cool. They may have two eyes.
Right. I think in ball pythons, in my experience, the more outgoing and well-adjusted they are, the better eaters they are because they're not scared of like a dangly frozen thawed rat on tongs.
Yeah,
and frozen thawed is easy to.
When I had mine, they were all on frozen thawed. I mean, I only had a trio, but they were all on frozen thawed.
Right, they definitely can't eat frozen thawed a lot. That's right. A lot of people are like they.
You have to train them, right? You have to heat it up and do a bunch of shit to begin, but they definitely can become sight feeders. That's what I call it. Like when I sell snakes, I try to sell all sight feeders so you don't have to worry about no bullshit. Like room temperature shit. Them things up there would eat a piece of paper towel in the thong.
Right. So to me, that's like a well adjusted, unafraid snake.
Right.
Like there are snakes that ball python wise and maybe other species wise that hate you, so they won't eat when you're.
And I think maybe one of the problems with ball pythons is that a lot of people can't see that they hate you because they don't exhibit their hate a lot of times like other snakes.
Right. They hate
like
you by
just like
hiding harder.
And like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
yeah. So that's where I'm at with ball pythons, and I can feel that tension where I'm like, oh no, I paid $1,000 for this snake, and like if I was being honest, I would not breed it because I'm like, it's kind of a shitty joiner of reality. So like I've been doing more and more like self-reflection, being like, he doesn't like being a member of society. Maybe he's got to go live with somebody else, you know, because he doesn't want to be here. He doesn't want to be a pet. Not really. Yeah, a zoo would call much more than we ever call.
Yeah.
I don't know. And zoos do get a lot of heat for that. Like, remember when they sacrificed like some antelope and fed it to the lions as like an experience for the lions because they could like practice eating a carcass.
But that's fine in my opinion, because who's to say what animal is better than what animal? Who's to say what's wrong with chickens?
Right. What is
what's like, come on, man. Like, just because we've normalized killing them doesn't mean it's any different. Especially when you're talking about snakes on a tropic level, where most of them, even the ones that are like at the height of it when they're adults, most of their life they're getting eaten by everything.
Right.
So it's like, I mean, if everybody wants to talk about naturalistic, well, ain't nothing more natural than two of these little motherfuckers making it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
yeah.
Yeah.
Even in like there are some species that are whatever that have high adult survivorship. They still go through a gauntlet where 99.99% of them die to get there. So like, I don't know how to.
I mean, if we really want to be honest, how many corn snake babies that go to great homes make it to adulthood?
Like end their homes? Probably not even most of them.
That probably not. So if you really want to be honest, it's probably almost equal. If you really, you know what I mean. Like the girl that I sold a corn snake to at the last show, and I was like, she was like, well, what should I put it in? I want to put it in this big. I'm like, listen, hun, like, just please listen to me. Just put this thing in a plastic tub with a locking lid for 6 months. Okay.
Right.
Just so you have a snake. That's your most important thing. And then she was like, yeah, that's what happened to my last one. And it's like, yeah, I mean, you got to secure it, man. And
yeah, I feel like that's I feel like that's the number one mortality cause of corn snake babies is escaped into the house and desiccated in the corner because they couldn't find it and it didn't have any water.
Or got nipped by the house cat or, you know, whatever.
Yeah. And I don't, you try to explain that really hard. You're like, any crevice is too much.
Right.
Like it doesn't work. They don't believe you. Also, like every Exoterra, I've seen adult corn snakes break their skulls to get out of the vent, and they'll just like, it's a hole, I gotta keep trying, and they'll like kill themselves on a crack.
Yep. It's
like that meme where like cave divers see like a tiny crevice, and then it's just like just the shoes are left behind. That's most of these like snakes. They're not good at staying in enclosures. So like that's priority, but I do think that murks a large percent of corn snakes. I also get messages from people like, I found this corn snake coming out of a wall in my apartment building. So to escape from somewhere else in the and I'm like
complex,
I'm like, damn, like that's gonna get us in trouble too.
Yeah.
In the end, is like people are gonna be like, y'all can't control these fucking snakes. And I'm like, you're right. We can't. At least like frogs and stuff, where are they going to go? They're not going in the walls. They're probably dying right away from desiccation. Yeah. Snakes are food. You can't feed rodents to your snake and get bent out of shape when someone feeds a snake.
Thank you.
It's being a hypocrite. Right. Especially since, rodents, like they dream, they laugh.
Right.
You
I
can
mean, they do
tickle
the
them.
mazes. I mean,
You can tickle them and they'll laugh. That is fucked up. We are monsters. Jennifer's biggest pet peeve is when people fetishize the wild. Shit ain't happy out there. Go watch a lion eat a baby antelope alive. That's right.
Yeah.
If you go to Reddit and go to our Nature is Metal, you're gonna be like, nature is fucked up. This place is gross. Eating fetuses out of still running deer and stuff. I'm just like, you guys are gross. At least put it down before you eat it. God.
Gotta survive, man.
Oh shit! What's the ethics of feeding goats to Tyrannosaurus Rex? Should we be baiting them to entertain guests, or should they be hunting?
Yeah, they should be just let go, so they shouldn't be tied down. Right. That's the messed up part. Have a possible chance of getting away and hiding.
Right, and I don't want to like infantilize people or whatever, but sometimes I think we make like false equivalencies, like captivity should be the wild. And I'm like, it's clearly not.
No.
And then like these animals are special because there are boop boom snoots, but they're really just a snake. They deserve lots of care, but they're still just a snake.
Right.
And so like all of those things are really complicated, and I think we look like assholes almost no matter which one you say. So it's very cool. It's very cool. Yeah, nature is
about balance, man. You gotta have a little balance. I know it's what everybody struggles with, I guess, in the way, but you gotta have balance.
Mm-hmm. What did I miss from my list of reasons to breed? That's good.
Let me see what else did I have on there. I put just like scientific research, like if you didn't breed them and play with the eggs, you would never know that some of them are temperature dependent and things like that.
Yeah, like since there's almost no money in herpetology, almost no money at all. No, like people don't want to pay you to do anything. A lot of stuff we know is because someone just wanted to have fun in their house.
Yeah.
So like, and then like the incidents that you will observe of behavior in the wild is very hard because these species are cryptic and they do not want you to find them, and they do not want you to find their eggs, and they hate you. So like you wouldn't know things unless someone was captive propagating them even at a casual level.
Right.
And I'm a big fan, honestly, of like citizen science in general, if it's done well, even if it's observational, because there's no money. The government is not paying somebody to like check and see if insular boas get bigger if they're fed more food. You know what? That is not a thing. It will never be a thing. So the only way we will ever know that is if someone tries to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think there's the other thing about having like a quorum of animals is those people can make connections and deduce things that I think someone who has a couple of pets cannot, just because they just don't have enough. So if you wanted to like really drill down to that species and you had 15 of them and they're all in vivs and you're checking them out, you could be the person that leads to a scientific discovery because you just have enough, because you just decided to be a breeder and you were doing that. It's hard to do that if you only have one. I mean, I've seen enough GTPs and exoterras that look crunchy to know that.
Right. And then I was listening to another podcast, and he's like, these people going to getting $1,000 snake and putting it in like a $10 Walmart tub. Well, yeah, for quarantine, that's what I do, man. It's the best way to keep everything, and you can see all the poop, and you can clean it every time it comes out. And it's the best way to do it for now. I'm gonna put some cypress mulch in there eventually, but chill out, bro.
Right. You want to look at the poops?
Right.
Anything else? What else did we forget?
I
do think more people should breed, because then they would maybe like, even if they breed just one time for fun. Sometimes I know it's hard to sell babies and whatever, and it's like a process, and you have to be committed and know where the babies are going. But I think you can learn a lot about yourself and what you want to do and what the animals can do. if you're just like, I'm gonna try.
And plus you could always wholesale them, like, because that's not hard to do, right?
Right.
So
for most species.
Right. Well, maybe at the price that you want, Jessica.
Well, listen,
right?
my brother in Christ, some of these places have been full lately, and I'm like, oh my God, you're serious.
Yeah, well, times are, strange.
Yes. and I didn't put any money ones on here, but technically there is like a financial part to this.
Yeah,
like
I put commercial and skin trade and stuff like that, and then consumption, because just because we don't do it, the rest of the world does. Like the Chinese king rats, and even ball pythons are on the menu in Asia now. I mean, they sell them.
What do you think they taste like?
I mean, they probably just taste like rattlesnake, probably like stringy ass, dry ass chicken.
Yeah, I've had rattlesnake. I was like, this is extremely mid. It's fine, but I'm not that in.
It's not enough meat on it to get me into it. So.
Yeah, you want to like lick between the ribs.
Right.
I'm gonna get some little twig meat. Chris Applin made a call for us to get back to publishing our accomplishments and observations. What do you think about that? I'm assuming in a peer-reviewed paper, but maybe that means it's on a website.
I think that would better support the invisible arc.
Yes.
I think that would be much better. But it's just like with nowadays people, I mean, I know I don't have the time. I don't have the time to do half the shit I'm supposed to do. Right. I have time to clean shit, go to work, take care of my mom, take care of my wife. And I ain't got time for, Yeah.
Have you ever read though, like in the scientific journal, there'll be just like a note. It's just like, note, I saw this species predating on this species in a stream.
Or like some iNaturalists. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like it can be basically peer reviewed. It's just a note, like a species observation. We could have like a stat. We could have that, and then 3 people check it. They get a picture, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he did see
it's legit, right?
That happened, and cool." So like, those aren't that hard to write and be real. Like it's real scientific evidence. And a lot of these papers now are free because they don't print them anymore. So maybe we should be putting observations into a journal.
Definitely, probably should. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I just think people think that they can't because they're not associated with an institution.
Yeah, that probably that part has something to do with it too.
Right. They're like, oh, I'm not important enough. What I'm saying is nobody's differently important. It's just some people are trained. So
I guess what I was trying to say is just I feel like a lot of us are kind of like in my situation where we're stretched pretty thin, right? So it's just like that's what I think like we all tend to do, right? We tend to have a lot going on.
Like if you observed, in your opinion, caudal luring in a species that no one has ever hypothetically said there was caudal luring in the neonates of that species, hypothetically, you could just email somebody.
Okay.
Observed like caudal luring. Yeah. And you have a little video of them caudal luring. And then they post that to like a website that has like.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You know what I mean? Just like, oh, on this day, this, and then
so something, by species, so it's like
so somebody could query like all the observations
it'd be like
of that
iNaturalist for captivity.
Yes, wouldn't that be cool?
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, we should do that. Or like on this day, I observed, like how some carpets have like genetic tendencies to have twins,
right?
Stuff like that.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just like
right, just a quick little.
Yeah, then maybe then somebody could drill down into it with like a real paper or something a little more observational.
When they get a lot of different observations.
Yes, that would be cool. That's what like notes are in like whatever, like field herpetology papers. Yeah, I mean, because like every scientific inquiry starts with an observation, so you'd be starting with an observation of whatever caudal luring. it would be fun. I just feel like people are really like wrapped up in the monetizing part of the hobby. So
yeah,
we got a new shed
and
testing,
growing it, right, and growing the hobby.
Right, shed testing platform launching. Which there's nothing wrong with Charlie, but I first I was like, oh, maybe it's lineage stuff. Like they want to be the like Snake Club, Turtle Club, Keepers of America, and keep lineage charts, plus the shed testing for morphs. But when I watched the interview, I didn't hear any of that. I just heard like, we're gonna figure out where the T negative albino is on green anacondas, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I do not give a fuck. Give me the green anaconda lineage. Tell me what's the heterozygosity of all the green anacondas in captivity. We're never getting any more. They're Lacey-act, no more. So like, do not go spend money finding the T negative albino. Spend money figuring out how many. What is the genetic makeup of all green anacondas in captivity right now? Do that, because that is more important to like the future captive propagation of green anacondas in captivity than a dumb schmorf. I'm tired of schmorfs. I'm getting over it. I'm over it. I don't give a fuck. I'm just like, please, God, or whatever. It like literally anything. If someone could make a club for their species of choice and like start lineage tracking today, please. Even if it's on a spreadsheet, I don't give a fuck. The only thing that's exciting that's happened in a while is like the Goniosaurus nerds messaged me and they made a Goniosaurus like listserv where everybody who owns any of the species can just put in what they own. So like they can at least share.
Right.
Like if you have whatever, Uranus or something.
Right. Like the chameleon guys did back in the day. Yeah.
Yes. Thank God.
Yeah, it'd be cool if we could make the arc better and actually able to float. It would be cool.
Yes, please. Cool. Right. They have the genome. Morphs as an added benefit. I'm just like, we got to stop talking about doing all this work on these snakes to get a morph better. Like, just reframe the same conversation and like, we're going to figure out the least related whatever species, and we're going to start focusing on maintaining any heterozygosity that's left in the hobby. That's our goal as a whole keeper of this chameleon or turtle or whatever. That's like literally the only thing I care about right this second, because the other stuff, it just fades. Like, who cares?
But the problem is you have to, like, I think that you have to stay long enough in the hobby to educate yourself enough to know that, right? So that's the problem. That everybody, like the majority of the people in the hobby, are so young into it that they're just like, "Oh, my ball python, boop the snoot." And a lot of them, because it's like, okay, they may not even go past that, right? Because I don't think that we promote the hobby the right way, right? Like we should be promoting it as a place that you could find, like it's the best hobby in the world, and you can find your lane. If you don't think captivity is right, well, you be a herper, or you do citizen science, or you do, you know what I'm saying? And you could be the top of that, right? Like, I just feel like I don't even think most people know about that shit. And it's some cool ass shit to do. Like the So Much Pingle podcast, like I love that one, right? But I don't know if that gets as many views as some of the other ones, right?
No.
Because they don't even know it's there. They don't even know, you know.
What if we had I think a lot about like kennel clubs for different dog breeds, because all they give a shit about is the propagation, continuation, and betterment of their dumb dog breed.
And confirmation. Like. Yeah, it would be nice to have some confirmation for it'd be pretty cool.
But they're just like, we don't give a fuck. As long as in the future there are German Shepherds still. Like, that is what they want. They all waste money doing it. They don't really make any money. But they're just like, I want to be king shit of German Shepherds. And good, I guess. Like, they're just ended. So, like, we need almost like a lobbying firm to be like, what does the reptile keeping hobby need to tell to the world and tell to new people? And here's our registry of all these species. And maybe we'll do genetic testing too. And you pay $60 a year to be a member of the Herpetoculturists of America, and we can lobby the U.S. government with USARC's help sometimes, but our goal is explicitly to like drive a direction to captive propagation of some kind.
Right.
not a strong direction because everybody's got their own lane, but like get everybody together behind a message. You know, maybe. Can we do that? Is there enough of us? That's how I think it's like the problem is like there's not that many of us. So like who?
Yeah.
Like when
There
people
wouldn't be enough of us saying the right thing, right? It's still,
but how many people like really want to breed German Shepherds and they
Right.
can have a club, you know?
Yeah. It doesn't take much. I guess it just takes a couple of people, you know, that have the time and the drive.
Wish I had time or drive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right. And then capital, because in this strange world, man, ain't nobody got no money. So
I know, gosh.
It's kind of tough.
I know RGI has talked about it, but like the thing they keep doing is making more morph tests. You know, we have to like break the wheel and just be like, okay, stop that and do this other thing.
Yeah, get all this done first, and then you do a skull play.
I feel like we got enough morph tests. Just stop. Just I don't care. Just stop and just pick something like sex determination and blue tongues or whatever. Just start doing that because they need it and they've asked for it and they've talked about almost doing it. And maybe they're working on it right now, but like that kind of stuff actually moves the hobby forward more than like figuring out another ball python morph genetic test, in my opinion, right this second. We've got a lot. We're good, probably.
Yeah.
Lisa wants to genetically ID a weird white lip. Yeah, maybe just send that to Warren just for fun. The problem is with a lot of that stuff is you need like.
It's like, is she talking about like the she has a weird white lip or that albino white lip?
I think she
is that albino one. It's like, oh, she does. Oh, that's cool.
It is cool. You would need known pure ones, like wild caught ones with known capture locations.
Yeah.
And that you are sure are pure, and then you just compare.
Yeah. I mean, it just be something she has to sit on for a while until somebody brings them in, right?
Yeah. Is lineage really important with insular species? Beyond pure, are we just fooling ourselves that they aren't inbred for thousands of years?
I mean, but they are inbred for thousands of years, so I mean, is it a problem at this point? Is all the deleterious stuff out? And
probably, but my point is like going forward, do you want to know which ones are pure enough, or 50% Kalatoa, 50% mainland, just going forward, just from now on, starting at point A, do we want a book, like a purebred book and a 50% book and whatever, that just keeps track of what we're doing?
Yeah, I would say so, definitely.
Yeah, and you could inbreed them in the pure book and then in the 50, whatever.
Right.
But just like, could we just
you could have separate books, but just keep track, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it'd be nice.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all.
And it's just for the people that want to do this later on, right? I mean, because who knows when things open, when things close, when it all shuts down, you know, bringing things in from the wild. I mean, who knows?
Yeah. In general, it tends to be like things just get more restrictive through time.
Right. I mean, so Madagascar, what has that done? I mean, it's up and down. It's open to shut.
It'd be better to get our ducks in a row sooner rather than later in terms of like how many Madagascar ground bows are, how many Dumerils bows are there, and how many are actually hybrids at this point on accident or on purpose, and just figure them out now before it gets, because they're not getting any more, even if Madagascar's open, because they're too endangered. So, you know. It's all about the money. John Michael spent a ton of money with RGA to get the Easter Indigo project going. Okay, sure. It's not free to do this stuff, so I believe you. I just feel like me on an emotional level. I'm ready to, if we're in the time of flux and we don't know what the hell's going on, to see a big change. I don't know if like Timberline sponsors it or just, some like instead of sponsoring a show, I like shows, they're fine. But like, what if they sponsored Herpetoculturist Keepers of America Club? And that club was explicitly to pay money to RGI or shedtesting.com.
Right.
To do that stuff. To have and it's a nonprofit club.
Right.
With membership. And its goal was the captive propagation and care of different reptile and amphibian species in the hobby. And there was no financial interest in that. It just wanted to make sure we kept keeping this going forever. What about that?
It sounds good.
All right.
No, it does. It sounds good.
That's what I want.
Because I would join, pay my membership, get my newsletter. I'd join.
Yeah, it's very like USARK, but it explicitly has a different goal, which is, I mean, they agree on a lot of things, like keeping legal. But this one is specifically like, we want to increase our knowledge by sharing it and coordinating it together so we continue propagating the species together.
Definitely.
Jason says purity is important because if you introduce a Calatoa to a Karampa, then you reintroduce genetic issues that generations of inbreeding has removed from the species. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we already
said
what we need. I'm not gonna jump back on that one again, but yeah, I just wouldn't do
it. Do you feel like when you talk to a new person, you encourage them to breed, or are you like a little bit tempered, or do you feel like you're like, nah? Like what's the right way to like encourage gently? What's your strategy?
I kind of just feel them out and let them guide the way, kind of like if I know that they're taking it as a pet, then I'm just like, okay, we'll set it up in this thing and you could put levels and make it, I'm going with them. And if they're going to breed, then I'll talk to them about different things and what they could possibly pair it up with. Mm-hmm. So I kind of just because you could tell after a couple of questions, and I kind of question them a lot. So
do we have a good like pipeline of, I know the podcast exists, but they're too long. I'm just gonna be honest. But like a pipeline of breeding tips and help for people to get started for most species, even they're like videos.
Okay, so
should they be videos, or should you make them read a book?
Thank you. See, this is the issue. This is like a thing that takes a long time. So like the fact that you spent $20 on a book and sat down and read it and maybe reread it is part of the process. Mm-hmm. Right. And I don't think that's like, no, I mean, yeah, if you want to say, if you're coming from the aspect of growing this hobby, then yes, everything should be on a 5-minute video and great. Okay. Mm-hmm. But if you really want to grow it with the right people that stick it out and contribute something, I mean, I feel like it needs to be kind of how everybody has to do it. You need to read. You need to at least engulf yourself in. And even if you don't like reading, like I said before, I mean, on another part, like you can get an audio book. You can scan every page and have it read to you. If you like, It doesn't take that long. You can do it chapter by chapter, right?
Do you think it's too easy now in some ways? Like you didn't have to get Reptiles magazines, flip to the back, classified,
right?
Send
yeah, definitely. It's almost way too easy, right? And that's kind of what Brian's Bowes was talking about when he did that picky thing. It's like, well, we didn't have the option to be picky, right? Like, what the hell are you even talking about? Like, you get to look at a photo and pick one out, and yeah, all the photos aren't going to be equal. So,
are we just old people yelling at the clouds?
A little bit.
And all this
I'm starting to feel it. Man.
Get off my lawn, you stupid.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel it.
Yeah, because a lot of this is like it's like fine, but if someone like easy ends to a species they saw on TikTok, buys it immediately, didn't really read the care sheet, they're gonna set it up whatever way they do. Maybe they make corrections, maybe they don't, but like they're not gonna think that this was like a journey of self-discovery. It's just an impulse. It's like getting a beta and putting it in a SpongeBob half-gallon thing. Like, it doesn't matter. They're not going to care more. Like, I keep thinking about that for like sales currently. I'm like, maybe the barrier to entry needs to be way higher. Like, fuck you, $200. Doesn't matter what it is.
What it is, right? Because that's like when you really think about it. As long as you don't, as long as you take care of it the proper way, it's going to be with you for a long time, right?
Right. And so, like, even if market price is whatever, it maybe just does have to be like, fuck you, it's $200, no matter what, because they don't give a shit about it if it's $5 on auction.
Right.
It gives me the egg. I did. Yes, unacceptable. Reading is bad, and you should never do it. You should definitely never read someone who maybe has opinions that are different than yours, but they have a coherent argument, and maybe you want to reflect on that for a time quietly, and think if you agree or not. Definitely don't do any of that ever at any time. Just impulsively get mad at people on the internet. That's the only way to move forward. Oh, fuck. I'm depressed now.
Because all the information is out there. It's there, right? For mostly everything.
Yeah, it's hard. I don't ever want to be like gatekeeping because like fuck, that's.
But how is it gatekeeping if all you have to do is
read?
How is it gatekeeping? The gate is wide fucking open. Like, it's like that. I don't even think there is gatekeeping anymore in this hobby. To be perfectly honest with you, it's right there. All you have to do is
right. People don't keep secrets of like how to do a good job breeding anymore.
No.
Of whatever species, they'll tell you because like
may keep some wolf secret shit, but that doesn't matter.
Right, even that. I think there was like, I don't know, whatever. Just breed it together. Because like, especially now that we're in like combo time, like they don't even keep the combo parts secret. They're just like, make it if you want. But this one's here now if you also want this. So like. Jason says, come on, Jess. History has long proven there's no correlation between intelligence and being able to successfully breed. That is correct.
No, also. Because they're animals. As long as you feed them right and put them together, they're going to make like it's not. Man, there was a guy at the last show. He was trying to sell me a whole bunch of corn snakes. He had got into some trouble and moved up here. And in the move, he put all of his corn snakes in one bag.
Sure.
He got all these crazy eggs, don't know where they came from, which I didn't think they were going to breed. And he's trying to say, I'm like, I'm not buying these things. Are you crazy? Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, of course, because it's not hard. It's just,
Yeah. I mean, that is what's good about reptiles is because they know they're going to die at any time because a heron's going to come eat them or whatever. They're desperately interested in making more ASAP. So it's not
all they're interested in. They're interested in eating so they can do that. Like it's
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool about them. That's cool. The other thing I think about a lot is I don't know, people who breed fish. I know it's not a perfect comparison, but they're very comfortable having clove oil on hand for culling because their eyeballs are falling out or whatever.
I mean,
very comfortable.
I think that you get to a certain point in breeding, and you have to go. Like, I'm comfortable with it. It's like them bug-eyed fucking palmettos, man. You ain't never gonna see them coming out of here.
Good. Thank
God. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. Yes, they will. They will breed with your arm. They're literally the definition of like breeding with a rope. Like,
especially if you have one of the opposite sex and then put it away and figure it's like, oh, get your little nasty ass off of me, man.
Yeah, you got to rub their little nail trail off because it's nasty. Sorry. Do you think we made people want to breed?
I mean, probably not, but
okay. I think it's its own cool intellectual pursuit for an adult who's well adjusted and wants to enjoy nature in a different way
and planned it out.
Yeah, this can be part of that. It doesn't have to be your only goal. You don't have to rush into it. You don't have to decide to be perfect, but you can try. And
also you're like taking
cool.
care of something at the highest level. Like if you can get it to do that, it's kind of like a little and it's like you're thinking about something other than yourself, which you know what I mean? And that in itself is rewarding because I mean, you could just, you can focus on yourself so much that it's not healthy and it gives you something else to, like I saw somebody was saying like they were, out like an alcoholic and in their recovery. And this is like something that really helped them because it gives them something to do and something to look forward to. And they were growing bioactive aquariums. And so, yeah, definitely. It's definitely.
Yeah. So like,
I love everything about it. Like I could talk as much shit as I want, but yeah.
Yeah, and there are a lot of like native stuff, and I was just like, I just don't feel like talking about that because like a lot of it is hard because people get like overwhelmed and they overbreed for their capacity and blah blah blah. But there are a lot of coherent, good, smart adults that love animals that would be great at it. I think sometimes are turned away because they're like, ugh, like I want to execute my vision this way, and the hobby doesn't need me here. And I'm like, yes, it does actually. Like the more coherent adults, the better, because you will be like a responsible party in a sometimes sea of irresponsible children, adults that want to do whatever they're doing. And if you want to like be a good ethical breeder of whatever species you're into and breed a couple a year, even if that you think that that's an overburdening amount for that species, it's not, because you're the one doing it. A like good keeper, coherent, adult, mature, thoughtful person. It makes the mean so much better.
Like I almost think that we need more people that just want to just do it for fun, do a couple clutches, make it pay for itself, and that's it. I think that
because that like changes the balance of a show. Instead of it being 50% flippers and 50% sad people who can't sell anything, if it's more like intentional, like hobbyist breeders that are like, this is what the fuck I'm doing, and they'll like, they don't need it to pay their bills. They're just there having fun.
Like the main goal could be help with your retirement, but not feed your kids, right?
Yes, yes, that's a stabilizing force in any species market where people are just like, I had fun, I sold enough snakes to cover my expenses for like a travel trip.
Like how Craig Trumbauer does it. I mean, that's
he's a player. He doesn't give a fuck. Yeah, honestly.
You ain't got no cash, motherfucker.
Get the fuck out of here. I'm just having fun. So like that's good. That's stabilizing, I think, for the hobby. Instead of people like coming in, flaring up, breeding too much, getting burned out, can't sell enough, get out. Like someone taking care of something for a long time and just being chill about it is good. So there's a lot of pet people who I'm like, I'm pegging you right now. You would have been like a fucking great breeder. You might have only had 3 clutches of whatever and a pairing of anoles or something, but I don't give a fuck because you would be good at it because I could tell you're like intentional, thoughtful, creative, and motivated. So they should be a breeder.
Yeah.
Boom. Mic drop. Oh God, sorry. Anything else? What else? What else? Anything else? How's your year going? Are you cycling things up?
No. So I'm in South Carolina. So my things are way pushed back. So I'm not starting to stop feeding until like late December. Because for me, it's January, February.
When do you start feeding a bunch? If you food cycle on your timeline,
it would be spring and now. I'm feeding them a lot now.
Okay. Yeah. I'm like looking at my bows and I'm like, I'm supposed to be feeding a lot right now.
Yeah, I'm feeding a lot right now.
I haven't had to put in like a frozen rat order or something. I don't have enough rats to like hit them hard real quick before I turn them off.
Yeah.
I usually turn them off. It depends on like if it finally gets fucking cold or not. But like in January, like when I put down the colubrids.
Right, because that's what it here. It doesn't get cold until.
Yeah, it's a balmy summer day here.
Oh man, it was like 83 today. It's gorgeous. Had a little bit of breeze. Yeah, I love it here, man. Yeah. Being from New Jersey and moving here, like I'd never move back up north.
Right. What species are you thinking about trying this year?
So this year it'll be the main focus will be Reptilia. The jungles again. So like I put my male in with her this year, and I didn't really think he was going to do anything. I was just kind of getting them acclimated, and they gave me 4 eggs that I didn't even know were coming, and I kind of missed that one, and I wind up hatching 2 of them. So I'm definitely going to cycle them right.
All right, lock in on jungles.
On jungles, and then definitely taking the year off on the Darwins.
Were you able to? You can not say this if you want. Yeah, but what were sales like for Darwins this year? Do you feel like they were?
It was good. No. Yeah, it was okay. I mean, I still have. Well, beside the pair, I have 4 left from last year. From 24, but you got to remember that I'm not really like out there. Like I don't have anything on Morph Market. I don't have anything. So unless you see me at a show that I'm locally, like you're really not going to get it. So I'm not really a good judgment of that.
Okay. I'm just like wondering if because I feel like some of the rare species, or not really even rare, but just like not ball pythons and
not common at a show, right?
Right. Some of them are doing good. Some of them are doing worse now. Yeah. And I'm just
think so. I get a lot of interest. So I have a guy waiting on a baby from this year that I had him again. So he met me in the show and he bought one, and I have a lot of interest, but not a lot of people pull the trigger. And that's the other thing. I didn't necessarily like take the price down or anything. So
are they asking for a different price on carpets this year? Are they being sensitive about it?
I see prices all over the place, and if we want to say pure whatever, well, mine are, are that, whatever you want to call them. So I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel like they have a value, and I'm not going to take them down.
Yeah, good. Fuck you. I want somebody, if anybody's going to Tinley, there's a guy who tells you to go fuck yourself whenever you want to buy his salamanders. I want somebody to take a picture of him, send it to me. I want to know, or take a video of him saying, fuck you, don't buy my salamanders. He's like,
what, because they're trying to get a deal or something?
No, he just fuck you, you're not good at it. Like his whole ad on Fauna is like, fuck you, you can't buy this, you're probably going to kill it. $200 each. Fuck you. This one's pretty good. It doesn't say fuck you, but I'm reading that into his language.
Right.
He's very much convinced you're gonna fuck it up. So don't even bother. So he's like, don't even bother buying this because they're really hard to take care of and you're probably gonna fuck it up. $200 each. I just love that energy. It is the king, queen. The queen I want to be is that guy right there. So if you find him, I would love to know what the fuck you salamanders are at Tinley Park.
Yeah, I'm not going this year.
Yeah, he didn't say fuck you, but I
get what you're saying.
I can feel
basically it's a fuck.
I can feel it in his heart, and I love that for him. He's doing his best. Purple Church says I should get guinea pigs because they're lean and meaty. Some of them are fat. Yeah, I thought about raising them here because, I don't know, they're a big boa snack. They're the right size for that, but then people are gonna be like, "You're a monster for killing guinea pigs." But I'm a monster anyway, so I like that they eat mostly grass, so they would be a better omega-3, omega-6 ratio than rats. What do you think about that?
But isn't rabbit the best? That's why I don't know why we don't do more rabbit, like small rabbit. My
problem with rabbits was when I bred them, they're not very good, even though there's breed like rabbits is a thing. It takes them 6 months to be mature. They aren't necessarily that great at taking care of their litters. You'll find kits out of the nest box, and you're like, this dumb bitch just lost every kit by giving birth outside of the nest box. They all died of of whatever exposure in the middle of the night.
Well, how big are the kits? That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
They're
I
good
feel like
for
we should
like
be.
they're like a medium rat. They're
Yeah,
actually
that'd be
pretty
like
good.
that'd be a good sign. Yeah, just get the kits. Like that's it. So who cares if she doesn't take care of them,
Well,
right?
I don't know. Don't you want more production per square foot of space used? I guess if it's outside, you can be like, Here, I think they would die of heat stroke.
Oh yeah,
Rabbits would.
Yeah.
But I think more quail operations should be run.
Right.
Because they're very efficient and fast growers and breeders. I think most quail can breed at 6 weeks or start laying eggs. And because they're not like taking care of babies and incubating them in their body, they just keep laying eggs. So like the production is very fast. And I think on a per gram of food rate, they are the best converters to meat, like in terms of how much money you spend, even though their food is more expensive because they eat like a game bird feed. Right. So I would love a quail person to be at every show, basically. Yeah. That'd be fire, honestly.
Yeah, I do like the quail.
Right. There should be more rabbits though. But I had a problem selling rabbits, like when I bred them for like burn people. I'm like, does anybody want a 8-pound rabbit? They're like, no, it's too big. And I'm like, it probably is, but like somebody's gotta want it. And I don't know. They won't like pay you. They have a hard time paying you what it costs to make an 8-pound rabbit.
Right.
It's a little hard. Jennifer's breeding quail. Good. Even if it's at a small scale, I think it's good.
Yeah, definitely. I get mine from Jason Hood. I mean, he's doing it at a small scale, but he still has a lot to sell. So. Yeah,
they're very efficient. I just wish they didn't produce as much dander. If I see one more dust producing thing in my snake building, I'm gonna I already make too much dust. I just like guinea pigs because they're like a good loaf of food. It's very boa.
They were saying that they were lean. I thought they were saying that they were too high in fat.
Well, I think they're fat if they're like an old pet that's been running around for 3 years getting fat on corn. But if you raised them up fast and you were selling a younger adult, fast is in quotes here, but like you weren't waiting till they're 3 years old. So I've seen some fat asses, some absolute dump trucks on guinea pigs that are older, and I'm like, that is really fat. I
would not want to feed that to it. Yeah,
you're right. But if you get them when they're young, I can see how it works out. I don't know. I just think a lot about everything too much, probably.
Yeah. If I reach my goal, I'm gonna do the rabbits. I've already decided that rabbits and ducks. If I get some land, so we'll see.
Rabbits are fun. I like them a lot, but it felt very inefficient.
Yeah.
To me, versus like I could make mini jumbo rats for the same amount of space,
right?
Food and time, and I could just feed double jumbo rats for the same amount of money it took to make one like 4-pound like rabbit kit that's grown up a little bit. They are like way leaner than a jumbo rat, though.
Right. And then if you're taking kits though, I feel like if you have enough, maybe that would. If you're doing it for the kids.
Yeah, I couldn't math it very good. Yeah. Like I know people who like eat the rabbits themselves because they want it, right? And so I
don't mind rabbit. It's not bad.
Yeah, and if they have extra kits, they just freeze them off for like because it's like basically a medium rat. Like if they already have adult like Sigma, that's like a lot of Sigmas that don't really need much bigger than a medium or a large or so. Yeah. So they just run rabbits and they'll buy in mice for their babies each year when the litters come.
Right.
And that's cool. Or you have a dog that needs a lot of raw food.
You can definitely get rid of it easily.
Yes. But I could never find buyers for like 8-10-pound rabbits.
Got you.
But where I lived, it seems
very it's probably rare regional.
Right. All right, I think we did it. Final thoughts. Where can people message you if they want to buy something?
Instagram. Just message.
Yeah, if you're not feeding your anacondas capybaras, what are you even doing? Okay, that's not natural. I'm kidding. Sort of. All right, let's say goodbye. Bye, everybody. Sunday's like the hognose stock report. I'll have to find somebody who breeds hognoses and wants to come on.
Oh, cool. I got a pair. I told you.
Oh, you're ready?
My wife loves them. They've grown on me, man. I really like them little fuckers.
Have they latched onto you and tried to eat you yet?
No, they're the little precious little things. Yeah, no.
Yeah, until you get the feral ones. Then we'll see.